Throughout human history, people have found ways of exerting themselves for purposes other than hunting and gathering. While in the modern era, most people have played sports, we don't ask ourselves what our ancestors played, and more specifically, what sports did they play. So let us explore all the sports of ancient history. The first sport we shall cover today is an ancient Chinese game. It's called, and be warned, I am butchering this, Juju or Juju, and it flourished during the Han Dynasty. It was like soccer in that you could not use your hands, although the rest of your body was allowed. Yet it differed with the net being blocked and having a 30 to 40 centimetre hole to let the ball in. The ball was leather and stuffed with feathers. It was probably invented in between 300 BCE and 206 BCE, however it would only really take off under the Han Dynasty. However, once it got off, even Emperor Wuji got into it. With its popularity, the rules became standardized and it became the game of the Emperor's court. The nobility and aristocrats fell in love with the game. If you could not play, you were made a scorekeeper. During the Song Dynasty, more people were able to play due to improved economic situations. This led to the development of special clubs in cities where people could become professionals and earn money. The ancient Mineball game was first played around 3,500 years ago, making it the first organised sport we're aware of. It began with the Olmecs and soon spread out throughout all ancient and medieval Mesoamerica, to the stage where there were 13,000 courts to play in, Guatemala alone having 500. These courts were carefully designed with two sloping walls for the balls to bounce on, surrounding a long and narrow playing field. We can never know the exact rules, however, the Spanish during the Mexican conquest, did observe that a few games done by the natives. It had similarities to modern basketball, with two teams of 5 playing against each other. They had to keep the ball in the air without using hands or feet. Instead, they used upper arms, thighs, and hips. The ball itself varied greatly in size and weight, from the size of a softball to the size of a soccer ball. Sometimes they were solid rubber and, as a result, extremely heavy. This allowed the ball to cause serious injury and sometimes even death. Around 12,000 AD, the closest thing to modern basketball was installed in the arenas, that being a small stone ring attached 6 meters above the court. While it was rare if you could get the ball through the hoop, quote-unquote, your team automatically won. Another similarity was the occasional sacrifice of the losers to the gods. We do not fully understand to this day. This occurred due to the Mayans sometimes making this a religious ceremony about a battle between the god of life and death. It was sometimes used to solve disputes between rival cities without the need for war. Pancration was almost like ancient Greek martial art. It came about in 648 BCE by combining boxing and wrestling. There are only 2 rules: no gouging eyes and no biting. Unsurprisingly, the Spartans loved it. The match only ended when the opponent, very different, conceded defeat or passed out. Some people even died. The myth of how it was invented was that Hercules and Theseus invented it after using both wrestling and boxing on their enemies. So, as you can see, life in ancient times was not all plague, death, farming as slaves. They knew how to relax with human sacrifice, barbaric violence, and, like always, China acting normal while it all burned.